Hello, everybody. My name is Chloe, and I am back with Kat for the Once Upon a Read Along book of the month for May. Our read along book, as you can see, was A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This is essentially the bridge book between what is now supposed to be two series. I don't fully understand it. So, as usual, we are going to start off with our initial thoughts. My dog is scratching at the door. And then we will go into more spoilers. So, the first couple of minutes are spoiler free, and then we're going into spoilers. So, Kat, would you like to go ahead and start?
Yes. So, yes, as Chloe said, this is the bridge book between Sarah J. Maas's two trilogies and her A Crown of Thorns and Roses series. This is, I don't know how to explain it better than that, but it's very short for a Sarah J. Maas books. Her books are massive. It tends to be like 600 to 700 pages, and this was only about 226 pages or 29 pages, something like that. You froze on me. Are you still there? Chloe? Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Is it fixed?
Yeah, I can see you. Can you see me?
Okay. Yeah, I see you. Okay.
Okay.
And we're still live after all of that. Okay.
All right. So what were you? Where did I stop at?
You literally said like two words, and then it went all messed up.
Okay, so I was saying that this book is different from a typical Sarah J. Maas book because it's so much shorter. It is supposed to be a novella, so it's about 229 pages as opposed to her typical 700 pages. I finished reading this book last night. It did not take me long at all to read this. I would say it took me about 2 sittings to read this book, maybe about 3-4 hours to read it. I don't know how I feel about this book. I enjoyed it. I really did, but I felt like this book was completely a waste of my time because I feel like I didn't get any new information from this book. I thought that when she talked about bridging the gap between the two series, I thought she was going to reveal some things in this book, and she did reveal some things, but I thought she was going to reveal some things in this book that was going to be important for the next series, and that's not what it was, and I was really highly disappointed in this book. I still haven't rated this on Goodreads. I'm thinking it's probably around a 2-3 star. But as I said, I actually did enjoy the story. This little story was part of a bigger book. If it was part of like one of the books in the trilogy, I would enjoy the series more. I would enjoy the stories more. But I just felt like as it's by itself, it was completely useless. It just didn't provide any new information towards what we should be expecting in the next trilogy. So that's why I was just very highly disappointed in this book.
Yeah, I'm very curious how this technically sets up for the new series. I read this very early on in May. Very quick read. I really enjoyed it. I know I talk about this on my channel a lot, but I have very conflicting opinions about the ACOTAR series. And if you don't know, that is that I hated the first book. I I didn't like the second book until the second half of the book, and if you've read it, you know exactly why. Um, and then like the third book and this book, I loved. So like I always have really conflicting opinions about ACOTAR because of that. But I really enjoyed this. I kind of only slightly have an idea about how it's set up for the next series. But at the same time, I'm still hoping we follow the same main characters in the next series. but like I can't really talk about my idea until we get into spoilers.
Okay.
But I did give it 5 stars because I loved it. It goes through a lot of perspectives, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so are we ready for spoilers?
Yeah.
All right, so if you have not read this book and you don't want to be spoiled, then I highly recommend not watching this anymore until after you read it. So yes, I forgot to pull up the chat. My idea for how this like goes with the next series is so we know that they want to have kids.
Right.
So like what if that was the setup and then the next series is like based on their kids? I hope not, because I really just want to follow them, but
I don't based on their kids, like I don't know, because the only idea we've gotten so far from this book and the other previous books is that they're having one kid. I think that I think the pregnancy and perhaps the baby itself will play a huge part. But that's it. That's all I know. That's all I really,
because it was like it was also hinted in this book that there was like something else coming, like more danger or something. So maybe like the first series was that first issue, and now the second one is the second issue.
Well, yeah, because at the very end of the book, I don't know if you remember when is it More or it's More, and she goes to this little house in the country and she's with her horse, remember, and she sees like this darkness in the wood area, and says that it's a darkness different from what she's experienced because it was a darkness that was staring back, and I remember that part. So I do think that that's like a huge hint of some of the things we might see into the next series. I also do think that they kept mentioning the 3 human queens. I do think that's going to play a big part in the next series as well. But we kind of knew that from the end of A Quarter of Wings and Ruins, because they talked about by the fact that the queens are missing. So I do think that something's going to happen with that as well.
Yeah, it has been a while since. God, it's been like a year since I've read Echo War. So like, yeah, it was kind of, at first it was a little hard to remember details of this book because it's been so long since I read that book. My dog is scratching at the door again. But I just hope we follow the same main characters in the next series.
Okay.
Yeah, because like it doesn't come out until next year, right? We have a while.
Yeah, because I think at the end of this year, because she's releasing her last Throne of Glass book, and then there's her, is it Wonder Woman? Or no,
Catwoman comes out in September.
Yeah, that's her Catwoman book. So I think the next book is not going to be out till next year.
Yeah, she did there is a teaser in the back of back of this. I didn't read it either. I just wish it had we had like a title. Oh, come here. Now he wants up. Okay. So I'm gonna check out Goodreads and see what there is, but of course I'm not logged in.
Yeah, I don't think that she likes to make a big deal out of her like release date.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's at least like a release date. Let's see. Thought I was already logged in, but I guess not. I don't know what else to talk about with this book because like I just really liked it.
Okay, one thing that annoyed me about this book is that this whole book was a huge lead up to their smut scene. Like I kept, like the whole time I was like, they're frustrated, she's frustrated, and I'm just like, can you just get on with it so we can get on with the point of this book? And of course she waits until the very end, and I'm like, really? And then of course she waits till the very end because it's the very end that, you know, Feyre kind of brings it up that she wants to try for kids. And I'm just like, oh god, it was very annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. Like he obviously wants to have sex, and she like denies him, and I'm just like, you know, it's like whatever.
I remember I was reading the book and I was like, oh yeah, Kat like hates that stuff. So when's it gonna happen? And then I completely forgot up until you just went on that.
I've made my peace with Sarah J. Maas's cringy sex scenes. Like I really have, but I don't like to be made to wait. If you're gonna do it, just do it. Stop frustrating the rest of us as much as you're frustrating poor Rhys and, like jeez.
So on Goodreads it says there's gonna be another novella, 3.2. Well, I don't know when it's gonna come out, and then let's see. Loading. I don't know when it'll come out if the next book is supposed to come out in 2019.
Okay.
Kind of going like off topic of ACOTAR and moving on to like Throne of Glass real quick. I think I've made peace with the fact that I'm gonna have to reread the first 2 books. Well, I haven't necessarily made peace with it, but
why don't you read recaps?
I normally do, but like
because I think that when I went into reading was it Queen of Shadows, I reread the recap for Heir of Fire so that I didn't have to reread the books because they're really massive.
Yeah, and I get that. The novella doesn't have a release date. But like here's my problem. Because you've read them pretty consistently of release, and I haven't. And it's probably been about 3 or 4 years since I read the second book.
Yeah, you and me. That's true.
Yeah. So my problem is, yeah, Recaptains is fine, and I actually enjoy it. But it would make like I'd probably use it more if it was like a year gap as opposed to like a 3-year gap. And I feel like if I reread the first one, it'll re-spark my excitement for the series.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait until after the last one comes out and then I'll just binge them all. And then I'll hate myself later.
You will. It's
yeah.
very
maybe dense. Yeah. Because, like, it doesn't really get dense until, like, the 3rd book.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Because right now...
stories itself, like, you read only the first 2 books. Girl, the story goes, like on a completely different path. It changes everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much different from what you thought of from the first book. So it's like the story is super dense. So I don't recommend binge reading, but
maybe like 2 a month or one a month. 1 a month is good. So yeah, it'll take me most of a year to read them, but maybe it'll be worth it. Because like right now, I'm kind of in this mood where like I'm like for June, I'm not even doing a TBR. I'm just picking up whatever I want to read, which is what I've been doing now. So maybe I'll just eventually just pick up Throne of Glass and do a reread.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Okay, so going back to A Quarter Frost and Starlight. So it says the 4th one is coming out in 2019, but there's no release date for 3.2, whatever that is.
I'm surprised that she's writing at 3.2. I mean, what could she possibly add to 3.2?
More sex scenes to annoy you.
Yeah, probably. So, okay, another thing that is frustrating me is what the hell is Nesta's problem? Like, I get it.
Oh, yes.
Traumatized, but she's been salty ever since the first book. She was mean from the very first book. And I get that, like now it sucks, she was made against her will and made to live in this place that she really doesn't want. But like, I keep thinking, like, was your life before any better? You were in a cabin starving. I mean, if it wasn't for Feyre, I mean, I guess that when Feyre went into the Feyland, Tamlyn kind of, helped them out and they were living pretty good. But her dad is dead. And there's this, what do you want? And her sister can't go back because of that, her ex-fiance guy.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask, of which sister was it that had the ex-fiance? Okay.
Yeah, it was Elaine. And I'm just like, I feel like her her if she changed her attitude, her life could be pretty cushy, and she could, actually be happy. And there's Cassian, who's supposedly this really cool, hot male Fae guy, and like he's interested in her for God knows why, because they're not even, there's no indication that they're actually mates, whatever. So I don't even know why he likes her, but apparently he does. And I'm just like, what is your problem? Like, what is your issue? She frustrates me. I can't.
I get it, because she was frustrating me too. Like anytime we had to deal with her, she was frustrating me.
But I was happy when she went to their like Solstice Celebration, and she actually put her face. But I don't know if she actually went in order to, because Feyre had bribed her with the rent money. So I don't know if she went there because she wanted to or because she was forced to. But I'm glad she went. But
I think she was going for rent.
And I felt so bad for Cassian, because I really wanted to know what was his gift that he got her.
Maybe we'll find out in 3.2. Who knows?
But she's I can't deal with her.
I always look at her Instagram, because that's where she posts her updates about stuff. But like she should be having a baby like any day now if she hasn't had it already. So maybe writing's on the back burner. Maybe
she's supposed to have the baby already. I think. I don't know when her due date was.
I knew it was sometime this month, I think.
Do you think that's why she's incorporating a child into her series, because she's having her first child? I feel like in the last Throne of Glass book, we're going to get a child too, just because she's going through her like pregnancy things.
Girl, don't spoil me. Well, what is this? Oh Jesus! The first picture, the most recent picture, is the oh my God, it's the last Throne of Glass book, and
it's like 1,000 pages. Yeah,
nearly 1,000. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna be like 800-900 pages long.
I don't want to do that. And plus the news that her adult fantasy series is coming out.
Which I saw people on Twitter making fun of it, because technically they're calling all her series already an adult series because of all the smut scenes. It's just like, I just laugh.
She writes too much sex. I don't know. I just want to know what the next stuff is, but like we probably won't even know anything until after or closer to Kingdom of Ash. I don't even think she's putting a lot of emphasis, or like a ton of emphasis is put on not necessarily her on Catwoman either, because it's not Kingdom of Ash, it's not Throne of Glass related stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like it was kind of the same way with Leigh Bardugo. Like she released Wonder Woman and she like went on like a couple of tour dates, and then all of a sudden it was Language of Thorns, and we did that tour date. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I just want more information.
All right. Another thing that really confuses me about this book is the relationship between Elaine and Lucian and Azriel. Because I'm like, Azriel and Elaine, they're getting along so well, and I'm assuming that Sarah J. Maas is making it seem like it's a friendship, but they get along well. That if Lucian wasn't in this like the picture, I would totally ship the two of them, Azriel and Elaine, because he's so nice to her, and he looks out for her. And there was a scene where when they were exchanging gifts, she gave him like, I don't know what she gave him. It was medication for his headaches, because she noticed that he rubs his head a lot. And so she's observant of him. So if it wasn't for Lucian, I would totally ship the two of them, because I think they would be really good together. Even though Azriel technically has feelings for Moore or something, but I don't feel like Moore, I don't know what's going on with Moore. Whatever, but anyways.
I feel like Lucian isn't in the picture enough for like Elaine to catch feelings, if you know what I mean.
kind of like brushes him off all the time.
Yeah. So like I don't know, it's a whole confusing thing. Oh, what did you think about Reese making like random visits to Tamlyn?
The first one, it made me really pissed off. Like, it really made me mad because when Lucian went to visit after he left the spring court and he went to Feyre and he was like, you know, you don't need to have your mate kick a male while he's down. And I agreed with that. Like that whole scene, just like with Reese and Tamlyn just made me pissed off because I
Mm-hmm.
get that Tamlyn did some bad things and I get that Tamlyn wasn't a good person in the second book and in the final book, but he's already down. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have anything. His kingdom is completely destroyed. Everyone left him. Everyone thinks that he's a traitor for what he did,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no need for Reese to go there and taunt him. And I just felt like Reese said I should have been the bigger male, and I was like, yes, you should have. You have all these things and there's no need for him to do what he did. So that scene really made me mad and I really I don't want to feel sorry for Tamlyn, but in that scene I really did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it feels like because we're already on book 3.5 or whatever, and um and like especially because her books are so long, it feels like forever since she was with Tamlyn, and like I'm so used to just it being Reese.
Yeah, like I understand Feyre not forgiving Tamlyn
Mm-hmm.
because she was the one who experienced things, but there was I just feel like there was no need for Reese to get involved in the situation. Tamlin already admitted defeat. He's not going after trying to win Farrah back because he knows
Yeah.
he's admitting defeat. And I don't know, like that first visit that Reese did, it was just, I didn't like it. And I'm glad that he went back and kind
Mm-hmm.
of like redeemed himself a little, but that first scene just made me angry.
I still love him. Um, hmm. The only other thing I could think of is what do you think about like the ending with like the art studio?
I thought that was
And
cute.
yeah, because I think she's trying to help everybody who suffered in the war.
Yeah, and I like that she's kind of like focusing on the children too, because
Mhm.
a lot of people tend to focus on the soldiers, who lost their lives or lost a limb or two, but we don't really see, and they tended to focus on families, a son that never came back, a husband that never came back, kind of thing. But it's
Mhm.
nice for her to focus on the children because they also saw the horrors of the war. Um,
Yeah.
Although I did find it funny that they kind of put a little humor into that really nice scene with the little boy who painted that he didn't like his solstice gift, and
Yeah, I
that he
remember
was the
that.
one who created the bubble that exploded in the face of that other girl.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I did like that she put a little bit of humor into that scene. But
Yeah. Trying to think of other things. This is what happens when I read it at the beginning of the month.
this is why I always wait till it's closer for me
Well,
to.
I was super excited, and I'm glad that I didn't wait because I kind of went like a little slumpy for a couple of days. I mean, I bounced back, but like I'm glad I didn't wait.
Right. Who was
Um,
your favorite, probably like your favorite character from this book? Like who impressed you the most?
I like how Cassian, like even though Nesta's being a bee, I like how Cassian is still kind of fighting, not really fighting, but you know what I mean. Like he's being a good guy.
Yeah. I think I think I have to agree. I think Cassian was definitely my favorite character from this particular book.
Hmm.
I feel like that if when Nesta ever warms up to him, I think they're gonna be a really good couple because I feel like she's so serious. And
Hmm.
I think that's something that draws him towards her. But I feel like he's going to be good for her because he can kind of make her loosen up a little, I guess. And I
Hmm.
really like I really hope they get together because Nesta needs to remove the stick that's up her butt. Like, seriously. And I think he's the one who's gonna do that.
I just remembered. What did you think about the snowball fight?
That I thought that was funny,
That
and
was so funny.
and it was cute, and it, like, as brief as it was really nice, and I feel like it's one thing that I admired about this series is the friendships that she's created, and I like that these three boys, they have such a deep friendship between all of them, and was it Amryn or Moore who took her to the cabin and showed her that? And she's like, "We've been doing this for years," and I was like, "Oh, that's so nice."
I thought it was like such like because they were acting just like boys, and
Yeah,
I thought that was great and funny.
yeah, that was a good scene. I like that. That was good.
Excuse me. I'm really tired.
What time did you wake up this morning?
8 o'clock
What time did you go to bed?
after midnight.
Oh,
I even shut off my alarm, and I woke up even before my alarm would have gone off.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, well, because I'm getting ready for us to leave on Thursday, and I'm just like, okay, I need to do laundry on this day and this day. I need to go to the store. I need to go to the bank. Like, there's all these things I need to do.
All right.
I can't think of anything else.
Did I know that did you have to Google some of the characters? I know that there were some of the monsters that I had to Google. I remember the Suriel. The Suriel was mentioned once, but Vasa, I didn't remember who she was. So
I don't even think I didn't Google. I don't know, when I come across one of those, like some of them like I would remember, and then others I'm just like, okay, now I gotta think what happened, and then eventually I would just move on.
yeah, I think Vasa was the only one that I really had to Google because I don't remember what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the queen that was supposedly ousted, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought there was something else I wanted to talk about, but now I can't remember what it was. Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think I said all pretty much all I wanted to say.
I mean, it's a really short book, so
Yeah.
there's not a lot there's not as much content as there normally is for us. Do you want to go ahead and do final thoughts?
Sure. Um, Overall, I liked the story. Like it was a nice little novella thing. I don't think for me, I don't think it was necessary. I didn't learn anything new from this book besides the fact that they decided to actually have kids. Because I think in A Court of Wings and Ruin they talked about it, but they decided to like wait. And this kind of Feyre changed her mind. And that's pretty much all we learned. But otherwise, it's not worth the 3 hours I spent reading this book. Even though I did enjoy the story, I feel like this book could have been like the story itself could have just been added to the next book of the ACOTAR series, and I would be fine with that. But yeah, I enjoyed the story. I think I'll give it either 2 or 3 stars. I'm not sure yet.
I'm glad we got to revisit these characters, even if it wasn't necessarily necessary. I enjoyed it. I'm glad we get something from these characters this year until the next book. And I'm very interested to see what happens in the next book, and I gave it 5 stars. So yeah. Next month, June, which oh my god, June is in 5 days. I can't. So our June book is going to be A Reaper at the Gates by Saba Tahir. This book is not out yet. It'll come out on June 12th. I don't think it's like 300 or 400 pages, right? It's not too long.
Yeah.
So yeah, this book comes out on June 12th. So make sure you pick up a copy so you can join us. Our live show is going to be on Sunday, July 1st at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. So that gives you like 3.5 to 4 weeks.
According to Amazon, this book
God.
is going to be 480 pages.
That's not
So
too bad.
almost 500 pages, yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad. So yeah, make sure you guys join us for our live show on July 1st, 6 p.m. And make sure you come talk to us on Twitter. I don't know, ask us questions, engage. I don't know. Trying to get the Twitter hype up. So yeah, that is the plan for next month. And that's all we have for this live show today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys next month for the Reaper at the Gates live show. I almost said A Quarter Frost and Starlight. All right, bye guys.